okay. We had a phone call at home, but everything's okay. It's no emergency. Just family members calling and just want to just speak with my grandmother. That's all. Anyways, about my sister, she had a little emergency. She wanted to leave real quick, and she took day off. Okay, so I'm in the back, right? And there was a little bit of issues with the boxes or whatever, and it was just like a little bit of a slowdown. Because it was so many boxes, and I didn't know where to put them. And they said you can't lay them down and stuff like that. But there was an issue. One of them was busted and was spilling. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So he came back there and he was mad. I don't know why, but he was getting mad at me. And he was like, oh, you did this? I'm like, I didn't do this shit. I didn't say I didn't do this shit, but I'm like, I didn't do this. And so, instead of picking the shit up, because you're supposed to do stuff properly. When you move things, you're supposed to do it properly. But I mean, if it's your own shit and you want to throw it, that's your business. But no, this guy, like, the milk's in there, bro. Like, it doesn't matter if it's plastic, in a cardboard box, whatever. Like, you're supposed to handle this shit correctly. Instead of picking up the boxes and properly placing them where they need to go, he picked up the boxes and he just took them and chucked these niggas. Oh, oops. Not chuck these ninjas, but he was chucking them motherfuckers. He was yeeting them bitches like it wasn't shit. And I'm like, looking at this guy, like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Is that how I'm supposed to do it? Like, bro, these ain't loose boxes. You got milk in this bitch. And it doesn't matter if it's in plastic. The shit could get fragile. You could just easily bust these motherfuckers. Because if it's too much stuff in the thing and you throw it on these hard ass concrete floors, motherfucker, it can fuck the box up and fuck that plastic up. It could cut the bitch if you ain't too fucking careful. Because he was chucking these bitches. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? So he was doing that shit, and I just like, man, I'm getting away from this nigga. I'm getting away from you, bro. I can't be around you if you acting like this. I just can't. So I was cleaning, and he was telling you, who told you how to do it like that? I was like, the girl place I was taking, because she was tired. Because I legit feel the way this girl was, the way that her demeanor was when she was helping me, she was mad at this. She hated that job. She was so quiet. She didn't hardly say a word to nobody there. She legit did not want to be in that motherfucker. She was ready to go home. She was from a different country too, but at the same time, she was ready to go. She didn't like being in there. She did not like being in there. And the dude laughed at me, like, and I'm like, why is he laughing? Like, he did some Shawn Michaels kind of chuckle too, in such an arrogant way. And I'm just like, and while I'm over here trying to take care of this mob, I'm just over here like, to myself, like, what the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? That's 2 times he start acting like a fucking weirdo. And then sometimes he be trying to act all hard in front of these females, because most of the workers was females. And I'm like, bro, like, you are like in your 40s or 50s, I don't even remember. But my guy, calm the fuck down. None of these girls want a piece of your tiny dick. Relax, son. You are too old. You're married. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, let's fast forward to the part where this was my final day at Panera. This was freaking bananas, dude. I mean that. This was some crazy circumstances here. Man, I was fucked up. I shouldn't even been there. But Mr. No Days Off, stubborn, everybody's got all this pressure on you at the same time. They want the best for you. Man, it was below zero weather, and this was a brutal day. So I'm working and I'm busting my ass, bro, even while I'm just fucked up. Mind you, I'm in them freezers. I shouldn't even be in them freezers. That would have made shit worse for me. But I bared through it, man. I did the best. I did as much as I could going through that stuff, and I made it work, man. I got through my jobs during the day. But then it got to the part where I had to do the catering and I had to do the dishes. The catering is when you the catering is when you just go around. Well, no, this what it was. I have to wash the tables and I had to wash the dishes. But then some weird shit happened, and it came to the boxes as well. So I was wiping tables and washing dishes, right? Which I was instructed to do. So then later on, he came to me and was like, "You need to take the boxes outside." All right. Keep note, I got a winter suit. They got some jacket that's like some high school jersey shit, and it was like a windbreaker. And I'm not wearing that motherfucker. I put on my winter suit. And if I wear my regular clothes, that's not gonna do anything. That weather was gonna break through my clothes. Cause khakis ain't shit. And what the fuck Long John's gonna do? That ain't shit. That's not strong enough. So, and also I'm wearing a shirt and I have on a thermal. That ain't shit. So, I go out there, I take care of the boxes or whatever. No problem. Alright. So I come back. There's no more boxes. The thing that had the boxes in was empty. Cool. I come back and I go back to the dishes and wiping off the tables, right? Doing that. And then out of nowhere, it was just more fucking boxes. So I had to go back, change to my suit again, and go right back out there. I'm telling you right now, the procedure is I had to keep doing this procedure because it's too fucking cold outside. Regular clothes going out there and going out that and then going outside, it takes about a few minutes to throw those boxes away. Because you gotta be really careful. It's food in it and all that shit. Move, Samantha. So I said move, Samantha. She had sent me a message. And I'm doing this recording. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm trying to tell this story and I'm trying to get it over with. It's too long. But so I'm putting those boxes up, and you gotta make sure you're careful when you, because sometimes it be food, it be cookies and stuff left over, but they say just throw it away anyway. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It's in the garbage. It's going in the garbage. So I'm done doing that, and so I go back to the bathroom. I take this damn suit off. I put my shit back. I take my damn boots off. I put my damn regular shoes on. And I'm like, fuck. This is crazy. I wouldn't think I'd be trying to do all this all these times. For the third time, the final time, I go back to washing the dishes, wiping the tables off. I was doing that for a while, and everything was okay. Cause doing the dishes is easy, and you just wiping food off the table and shit. Make sure it's clean and presented for people. That's all it is. But I didn't really have many tables to wipe because it was like a lot of customers there, and it would just be, and then because they say like once the people there, you don't go to the tables. You just wait till they leave and shit. And the dishes and stuff, everybody, you can grab the dishes, or somebody else would just grab the dishes. Sometimes sometimes they had somebody doing what I was doing, and some people would just like wipe it like in a couple of seconds and then just leave, like they don't give a fuck. I would just go there and wipe it, like make sure, like, you know, like you do it in those spirals with your hands, and you make sure you get all of the fucking table. That's how you do it. That's how you're supposed to do this shit. That's how you clean windows. So, cause when you clean something, you gotta make sure you get everything. So I just make sure I just move my hand and just do that shit correctly. And what was I about to say? Yeah. So after that, all that, right, the boxes come up again. So I go in there, I change. I have to put the suit on. I have to take the hat on. I have to take the hat off, put the suit on, zip that up. It takes a couple of minutes to do that, and then I have to get my gloves, put my boots on, put my mask on, and make sure my hood's on, and make sure everything is properly right before I go back out there again. So as soon as I go out there, he started talking to me, and I took off my mask so I can hear him. And so he starts complaining and going off about it was taking me too long to put the shit on, and then he was telling me I should have just put on a fucking jacket, and he's gonna tell me that I should just do the shit with the boxes faster. I'm like, bro, like I'm doing the best I can. And then he was like, just didn't give a fuck what I had to say. He was gonna tell me to watch him. I'm like, I ain't watching you, you old cocky fuck. I didn't tell him that, but I just had enough of his ass. I wasn't following him, none of that shit. Cause I'm like, I ain't going back out there again. Fuck this shit. That's what's going in the back of my mind. I already had my winter suit on. And so he was like, you can just get yourself and go home. I'm like, okay. And then I turned my back and ready to go, and he was yelling and shit. So I came back, and I was like, what did you say? And I looked at this guy, and he gulped a little bit. He was like, oh, I was just saying that your sister need to come and take you home. I'm like, okay, I got you. So I turned back around, I checked out, and I left. And I was living, because the guy is an asshole. Went home, told my people. I sat down in the living room, because they want to assume like, oh, you didn't like the job, you didn't give a fuck about the job, you wasn't even trying to work there and stuff like that. You supposed to be my family. Why are you attacking me like that? But anyway, I had the recording. Yes, I had the recording, and I let them hear the recording. My grandmother was disgusted. My dad was pissed off. He wanted to kill this guy. And I was like, wow, that's the first time I ever seen my father get ready to try to defend me and fuck somebody up for me. I'm like, I'm surprised by that. Usually he be making my life a living hell and be about to fight with me. Wow. So shocked, so surprised. You give a damn about me? Yeah, of course, I'm your son. You supposed to give a fuck. Anyways, we do the recording, trying to figure out shit. And my aunt, she spoke with me, and I told her what happened. And she was like, oh, he's just an ass, a complete ass. Because she took me out and got my money, and I told her, and she didn't like the way it was. And she said, as long as you got your money, you don't even have to look back on that shit no more. And I was like, she right. Like, you know, I got my stuff, it's all over. I don't have to worry about that man no more. Fast forward, last year, I believe, my sister told me he got fired. And I was like, that's good for his ass, because he ain't shit. But that's it. That's the whole story about Panera. I'm glad I'm through with Panera. I hope things change there, and I hope that same man ain't there. Because one time I was at BJ's, and I was with my aunt, because she was like getting food and stuff, and I saw this boy, and he came from Panera. I wanted to talk to him and tell him like, hey bro, if your boss is this fat ass piece of shit ass person, bro, you better watch yourself. But I just let him be. I didn't even talk to him, because I'm like, nah man, my chapter with Panera is over. That boy's gonna have to learn by himself. He was a young man, looked like one of them careless looking kids, and he don't know the info. Gotta let him learn. Cause I ain't his parent. I ain't his fucking daddy. So far, that's it. My sister, she blamed herself. She blamed herself for what happened. And I was like, you know, it's not your fault. Like, it's just the way he was. Like, he didn't like me from the beginning anyway, when he was pointing his fingers at my face. And then he was acting weird while you was gone. I told my grandmother this, and she was saying like, you know what, don't worry about him. Just know and let him know that you're doing the best you can. That's what she told me. I was going by my grandmother's advice, and she be wanting me to try to make sure to take the passive route. Don't be trying to fight everybody, cause she know I'll get pissed off and I'll tell somebody about themselves. But she was like, no, just go there, just be professional. Don't be trying to be all angry and pissed off and shit. Cause when I was face to face with that man that last day, it could have been all kinds of shit. Cause my sister told me like, if he fucks with you, you just whip his ass. And I was like, I ain't gonna do that, man. Cause I thought about it. I didn't want to fight him, but I was like, nah, man, I ain't about to do that shit. He ain't about to set me up, sue me, and get money off of my family. Fuck that. Like, nah, bitch, you ain't about to get that fucking opportunity ever in your motherfucking life. Fuck that. I seen people like you, bro. I know what you trying to do. You ain't about to do that shit with me. Fuck that. Fuck you. No. You gonna give me my money, and I'm gonna go my merry way. I never have to see your fat ass again, bro. That's what it is. And to hear that you got fired, I knew you was gonna get yours, bitch. And no, it ain't my sister's fault. She just wanted to help her brother out. That's all that was. It was that motherfucker being a sorry ass piece of shit. And I didn't give a fuck that he didn't like me. I know he didn't like me, but I wasn't worried about that. That wasn't gonna stop me from doing that job, getting along with people. And my sister was there, and I felt a bit more comfortable. And I was doing jobs where that was just simple, and I was able to do it. But that shit he had, where he had me going back and forth like that wasn't my damn fault, dude. And I was just going by common sense. And plus, I was sick. Like, motherfucker, if I went out there wearing that shirt with no sleeves, yeah, you wearing a business shirt with no sleeves, you can't wear nothing else under that motherfucker. And then you gotta wear khakis. And I got on, and you can say it's my fault for having long johns and whatever. Oh yeah, I meant to say I had sweatpants too. But still though, like, bro, I ain't about to go out there wearing my regular shoes, wearing these khakis, long johns, wearing this short shirt where easily wind could just go through that motherfucker and just freeze my fucking arms. And then you want me to wear some damn cap, and you want me to wear this fucking windbreaker coat that's not even warm enough than the suit I have on, which has layers, mind you. Going out there in that 0-degree weather, to be out there for a few minutes, throwing away all these damn boxes. Fuck that shit. Like, motherfucker, I am about to go out there and kill myself to put up these fucking boxes. Cause it's already bad enough I had to go inside a freezer that is around that same temperature, but that temperature, that's realistically out there in the fucking world. Everywhere I step, and people get into accidents, you can't hardly see shit, and it's cold, boy. It's cold. So cold that it would go through my gloves and go to my hands to a point I can't move none of my damn hands. That's how cold it is, dude. And you talking about go out there with that bullshit on? You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that dumbass shit. Gonna get mad at me for putting that fucking suit on? You want me to wear some fucking jacket? Fuck you. He told me not to even put the mask on. You know, something to protect my face from that weather. I need to keep my face warm, bro. Idiot. Alright, man. I think I'm done here. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. I didn't expect this to be an hour long, but it is what it is. That's what the whole story was. Goodbye.